Hello, everyone. I'm so excited to be back. This is like crazy, crazy exciting for me. But I am now set up. I have a filming space. I have a space to actually do my artwork, and it's not on a table in the kitchen or near the kitchen, and I am just beside myself. So, yes, we are finally settled in Singapore. We have a few boxes still to take care of, a few little, just cleaning up little items. We have one more piece of furniture to buy, and then we're set. So today, the last week of October 2022, I decided that I want to start looking at some stuff that I noticed when I was unpacking. And that is that I have quite a few coloring books that I have things started in, but I haven't actually finished. And so I kind of, those works in progress, or just maybe it was an experiment, I don't know, that I was having. So today I'm going to go into Rick St. Denis Folios for this week's worth of coloring. And I'm going back to having color and chats on a weekly basis, kind of like a little color and chat, or a color and check-in is what I'm calling it actually. So checking in on a weekly basis of what I'm coloring. I am a slow colorist. We've talked about this, but I really enjoy the process of coloring. I also, in all my unpacking, realized I have not been using a lot of my supplies, and I really want to start using them rather than going and buying them. So this is the Schpirerr Farben set. I know this was a big, huge thing multiple years ago. Everybody was interested. It's one of my most watched videos is using these, doing the testing of them and kind of reviewing them. They are a great set of pencils for me. They're very soft. They feel good in the hand, and they work really well in this kind of paper, which in this case is that kind of Amazon paper, that little bit of roughness. So this, like I said, is Rick St. Denis Folios Volume 1, Rick's favorite potpourri. I've done a couple pictures of this, but I don't know that I've actually shown it to anyone here on YouTube. I know that there's a couple pictures that are on Instagram, but many, many years ago now, his style is really kind of unique. So here we go with this one, which was a lovely zombie. I think this is the first one that I did in here. And what I love about it is his style is so distinct and different for me. It's not my normal coloring type of books, but it allows me to do some crazy color combination. It also allows, if we flip this over, for me to go ahead, because these are only on one side, is to be able to go ahead and start using my Copics, which is really kind of one of the reasons I was buying Copics. I bought a lot of light colored Copic markers, alcohol markers, but of course they're going to go through stuff, because I wanted to then be able to come in, and I believe I used Prismacolors to come in and do the shading and coloring. His style, he puts in a lot of shading already with his kind of scratch marks, his here and there. This is a little witch I did. Absolutely adored this one. Had so much fun doing it. Again, put a layer down of, the markers first, and then went in and colored in with the pencils. And it's interesting because even though I've also used Gamsol on this, there's still a little bit of graininess to the coloring, but I think it just adds some texture, and it goes with the style, the really heavy scratch and sketch feel of this, which I'm really excited about. So whenever I was looking in this book, I didn't realize it, but I had another one that I started, but I just have never actually finished, and I thought this would be perfect for this last week. It's my first time sitting down again, and so I just want to go in and be able to start putting in the details. So this is our lovely Alice, poor zombie Alice. She's had it pretty rough, it looks like. So now I wanted to start going in, and again, I'm going to be going ahead and just using this set of pencils, which are Schpirerr Farben. I don't know if they've come out with anything since. Like I said, these really hit. Everybody loved them. And then after this is when like the Brute Funers started showing up. The, I can't think what the Arteza started showing up. Yeah, that's it. And now we have like our Artex and these other brands that are just coming out, and you know, for a little bit slightly less expensive. At the time, you couldn't get replacements. That's one of the, you know, one of the things that I wasn't particularly happy about, just because that's me. But at the same time, it's a very good 72 set. So if you want to watch that video, I will link that down below if you're interested in these, in the review I did. So let me go ahead and bring you down, and we're going to start working on young Alice here. All right, I think we're going to start with her hair. Now, I am going to be going for really dirty, grungy. So I guess it's green, grungy, zombie-like hair. Though, you know, it's in pretty good shape, I would think, for being zombie hair. But I want to kind of start darkening it up a bit, messing with it a bit. So we're going to come in with some dirty yellows. And I'm kind of going for really not gorgeous colors. Not brights, which, oops, sorry for hitting the camera stand. So just to say, one of the things I will say about this set is it has amazing, beautiful, bright colors. So I'm kind of going against the grain here with this. All right, so we're just going to start coming in and see what I can start adding in. So here we are, and why I call it a color and check-in. See, it's just not dark enough. That's not what I want. Let's try this one. I originally grabbed this one, but then, here we go. Now, the other thing is that other than numbers, which, by the way, I did want to share this with you, something that I appreciated and didn't realize I had been doing is, as I'm looking through a lot of these books and seeing that there's a lot that are basically that I do have works in progress. I was so happy that I had my little notepad here of graph paper noting the colors, what I was using. So I'm going to try to keep that up, because I can kind of pick up from all these, and these are my SPs pencils. And I can just write down quickly the name and number. So in this case, the Schpirerr Farbens only come with numbers, so we're just going to do numbers. 0, 2, 2. And I want to note that I'm doing the hair. And just by having a few of these notes, not only does it help me when I go back to, you know, do these videos and put in numbers and everything else. Yeah, that's a little bit better. It's probably, I probably want to go even darker, but we're going to just start putting in some of the shadowing here. But yeah, having that little notepad, and what's nice about them, I don't know if you can tell, but they're Post-it notes. So I stick them right in, and I found quite a few of them in my books as I was going through them. Unpacking has been quite an eye-opener. Remember, I've not seen a lot of these books, or books both being reading books and my coloring books for almost, at this point, no, would it be? Yeah, almost a year and a half, maybe 2 years in some cases. And because of that, I was really, really surprised at how many I've started. I've had such a disjointed reading and coloring year. I think that's a big reason why. The last 2 years have been very disruptive, and both of those I've had to really change how I was reading and how much, with all the things going on between the two moves from Vermont back to Jersey, across from New York City, going from a 2-bedroom up there and a 1-bedroom to Jersey City to just the 1-bedroom in Jersey City, stuff being put into storage, and then of course now this move here to Singapore. It's been really quite a thing, and very disruptive for my reading and being able to color. Have I managed to color? Yes, I found ways to do that, but not where I had a place I could sit and just enjoy and be able to leave a project open and available for me whenever I had a moment to color. Same thing with books, kind of having that same kind of experience with books. And so I've been very disjointed. But when I went to unpack, oh gosh, I was so surprised at how many starts I had done with works in progress and not finishes. And some of them are really old. Some of them I even have videos on, and I never finished them. And I was like, oh, I need to finish those. So I am using a kind of an idea that I'm seeing that's going to be happening in November for... it's actually on BookTube, and it's a readathon called Knock It Out November. And I'm going to start using that for basically in November, with the idea that I'm going to go back and try to finish up as many of these pages as I can, and that I want to. And if I don't want to finish them, if I don't want to continue with them, I need to kind of note that and figure that out as to why. Why is that? Why am I thinking that's what why am I just not into anymore? Did I not, did I get to a spot I don't like? I can't figure out how to make it end decently, and then make a decision if I'm going to work on it anymore, or just call it an unfinished forever. So that's kind of where I'm going to start to try to get my coloring mojo back. As you can see here, I'm just going in and adding some kind of initial shadows for the hair. So again, this is a very interesting artist. He does, other than zombies, this is kind of his zombie book, perfect for Halloween every year. Lots of different pictures. I also have one where he's done a lot of beautiful ladies, and I did a woman in yellow. Now the idea is to just let myself color for like 30 minutes a day to start with, start getting back into the habit, and then we will be doing what we were doing way back in January, February with these colorful check-ins, is kind of, I'll put them all together for one video, and hopefully we'll have a finished page by the end of it. At least I'm hoping that's going to be the case. So now I want to go even darker, and really start getting in here a little bit more. Yeah, I don't really want her hair to... I'm even thinking of maybe putting a little bit of green to really get some dingy hair. Poor Alice. Poor Alice. Not going to be looking so spry. So this is going to be taking some, getting used to again, definitely. And I've also been out and trying to watch some things on more coloring, get back into the coloring community a little bit more, see who's out there, who's doing what. And it seems like there's been quite a changing of the guard since I've been gone. But, I've been out of this for quite a while. Even though I started doing this in January again, I mean, it literally was by I think it was mid-February whenever we found out about Singapore, or the possibility of Singapore. Actually, it wasn't until March that we knew it was even a real possibility. There was also some other things going on that might have been another opportunity that my husband was exploring at the time. And from then on, there wasn't much for coloring. I have started a few, but like I said, this one, oh my gosh, I don't even know when this would have been. This could have been before even 2020 when this one was started. I really don't remember. Probably when I first got my Copics, so I think I started getting Copics in 2019, I think. But putting down that base is a lot of fun. It gives you, you don't have to work as hard to cover all the white. But trying to find really light colored ones, because I usually always go from kind of like the lightest color to darker colors that I start putting in, like I am right now, as shadows. That's just kind of the process that I always use. second. Maybe that's a little bit better, a little bit brighter. I apologize because I didn't realize it. So we are here in Singapore, we're in what's considered the beginning of a monsoon season. And so we do get quite a lot of rain. We get good, decent rain year round, but and so we just had a pretty nice little storm. It wasn't very heavy come by or come through. And so now it's cloudy. So I don't have as much light, but even in this room, I'm pretty heavily shaded because I have beautiful greenery right outside, which is nice and helps it keep cooler and feel cooler, but it doesn't allow for a lot of light. So I forgot to turn on my little light. Bear with me. It's also kind of a dark color. We're going to just add some more. Like I said, I'm really trying to make this grungy. I'm really thinking about really making her roots look like she has not such a great dye job as we thought. Because I doubt as a zombie if she's went and got her hair colored, and she's probably also not necessarily had it not only colored, but she's probably not even washing it. So we're gonna start working on this a little bit more, really grunging it down. You know, hair is, I've never really done grungy hair. Usually we do really pretty healthy hair, so I'm not sure what or how this is going to actually work out, but we shall see. And this drawing doesn't really encourage for you to make really luscious looking hair as far as with all the strands and all that. So I probably will be coming back in, and I think I did this on the other two, is come in with some of my little markers to kind of deepen, put some extra lines in. Like I said, it just has that such a great sketchy feel, but it's very different than all the books that I've worked in the past. So this is more of like a grayish green. So yeah, just take that lovely blonde hair and really not looking so lovely. You know, there was a book, I think it was called Whatever Happened to Alice, or there was a song too about it. And I remember reading that book when I was younger, and wow, it really it was kind of a depiction of, you know, the drug scene in the 60s, and just a part of life I did not experience myself, but I remember reading it at a fairly young-ish age, quite impressionable, but a very poignant book. But yeah, the song Whatever Happened to Alice, you know, now I'm like, oh, maybe this is what really happened to Alice. She got turned into a zombie. Actually, kind of reminds me of what I was picturing of this young girl's state. But yeah, that was a long time ago. It was a book. I bet my mom never knew I read that, or if she knew, she didn't know what was in it, because I don't know. My mom never really, you know, was policing what I was reading or any of that. And I read such a interesting, wide, you know, whatever I could get my hands on mainly. That was a big thing, and I'm sure, but it really had an impact on me, that's for sure. I'm just gonna go ahead and I'm going to stop with her her hair. And the reason for that is I am thinking, actually, you know what I'm going to do? I want to come in and kind of do a bit of a burnishing. So I'm going to come in with a lighter color for now and just get a good covering over. Why did you bother with the marker? Again, the marker's coming through and the marker's giving a depth of color here, and it's also help start eliminating the white of the paper coming through. So that is why I like to use it. Start just so I always start someplace so it's dark, so I can kind of get an idea what the color itself is. And I'm kind of like just starting with some of these shadows, and I might end up using this more for a dominant color, but for right now I start in those shadows and kind of come out until I get really comfortable with what this color is. And I do like the color that it's changing into. That is a good green. She has no nose. Poor Alice. No smelling the roses of the white queen, or red queen. Sorry, red queen, not white queen. Whenever you get there. Though you've probably already been there looking at you. God, I can imagine what that the Queen of Hearts must look like. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and start down here. On the arms. I'm going to come out just a little bit. There we go. Maybe she's all in there, so that's good. just coming in with this really dark green. This is what I kind of put up in our hair. I was like, wow, this is much darker than I thought. And I'm going to start coming in and really start building up these shadows that he's, you know, given hint to with his drawing and scratch marks, and start trying to kind of build out. I'm probably going to run through a couple more of the pencils that I've already put on her. This is kind of where I kind of just fiddle for a little while. These have no nose I have to deal with. I always have problems with noses. I don't know if you guys do, but boy, noses are challenging. You know, whenever they draw them in, they put just like a little slash mark here or whatever, and then it's like, oh, wow. So yeah, noses are still kind of proving to be a challenge for me, but I have no challenge with the nose today because poor Alice, zombie Alice, has lost hers. I don't know if I'd say she's looking good, but she's looking something, that's for sure. Sorry. That is actually 032. This is that gray color, and we're just gonna try. I'm really doing some heavy layers right here, with the idea that if I bring in my, I'm gonna call it mineral spirits, but it's I can't remember if it's odorless. I don't know what they call it here in Singapore. It's not reacting exactly like my Gamsol, so I kind of missed that. But we don't have Gamsol brand here. But I was playing around with it in another book, and same paper, and I was like, oh, it's not reacting quite the way. Now, granted, I wasn't using such soft creamy pencils as this, or as my go-tos, which are my Prismas. So this is at 063, so I went through all the colors again. Alright, there's poor green Alice. So we did the hair and the skin today. As I said, I want to try to keep these to about 30-minute little sessions each time. I'm not done with either one, but that might be at the very end, me going back in and start messing with some stuff. I am a little nervous about our cat. Let me see if I can get him into shot here. Our little friend, the cat, I think I'm a little bit apprehensive about. I'm not quite sure how I'm going to do him, but I think he's going to get kind of raggy-tangy. I probably should use Crookshanks from Harry Potter movies as my inspiration, a raggy-taggy Cheshire cat. So, all right, so that's it for today. I'll be back tomorrow, and we'll do a little bit more. Poor Alice.